This week I created a pitch deck for a potential new client, and I wanted to walk over some of the steps that I took that really made this impactful. Step number one, when creating a pitch deck, I'm only pitching for 5 to 10 minutes. Make your pitch decks super short, and since you're the expert, speak for the presentation. Don't let the presentation speak for you. What I mean by this is don't fill up your presentation with a bunch of information because that can seem overwhelming. Today I spoke with a client who is interested in meta ads, and he wanted me to help build out his entire meta ad library and actually run the ads for him. So I created a short pitch deck, and I put in the time to research his company and see what key areas in his business that he could improve on. I created all of these slides through Canva. Even though my Canva is connected to Claude, I don't let Claude create my Canva presentations because I honestly don't think it does a super great job. I also saw a lot of comments asking me to work with Gamma, and that is an avenue that I am going to do some research in. I tried using Gamma earlier this week, and honestly, I didn't really like it, but that's probably because I didn't spend enough time with it. Today, we're going to be going over the 7 to 10 Canva slides that I use when pitching to a new client. The first slide is just a normal cover slide, make it look pretty. I usually have the company name, their logo. I say digital marketing growth strategy, something that has to do with digital marketing. I'm slowly stepping away from marketing myself as a videographer because not a lot of people in 2026, 2027 are gonna pay you just because your videos look pretty. They're going to pay you for creating videos that bring in more business for their company. I say digital mark growth strategist, you can say whatever you want. This is just a silly title slide. The next slide is what's working. This is my complimentary slide. This is a slide where I do the research, I look at their socials, I put some statistics of how they're performing on social media. You're doing these things really well, and it can be anything. Maybe they have good pictures, maybe they have some good reels. If you see them and they don't have a lot of great content, then I always go to complimenting their business. Your business can provide so much help to so many different people. Here's how I can get you more leads so you can grow it. If you go on someone's socials and they don't really have anything, you can use this slide to complement their business rather than their digital marketing strategy. If they're doing good on social media, I might put little screenshots of some of the videos that they've created and add it in, because when you show pictures of the business owner or the business owner's business in the slide deck, it makes them feel like you've put time and effort into what you're doing, and you have. This person, who I don't really know, took the time to research my business and is actually working towards helping me grow. Then I have an improvement slide. So for this specific client, he was not running any meta ads. If you go to Facebook ads library, you're gonna be able to see what people are putting meta ads out and what people are not. So I went to Facebook ad library, I typed in his Facebook page. His Facebook page popped up, but when I clicked it, he wasn't running any ads. Another thing I forgot to mention is, for some reason, Google Meeting wouldn't let me record the meeting. I don't know why, but I screen recorded with my computer. I always record the sessions and send it to the clients, because a lot of the clients that I talk to, it's not just one person, it's probably like a small business with 5 to 10 employees. In order to keep my business on top of mind, sending a screen recording of the entire meeting really helps, because if they're like, man, what did he talk about? What was his strategy? They can always go back to the recording in their email. Then this next slide is just talking about me and kind of who I am. The next slide is the results slide, and I think this is one of the most important slides to have, because this proves that you're good at what you're doing. If you're trying to get more clients and run ads for them, if you don't have any proof or research that what you're doing is working, then you either have two options. You either charge the client for the video, but tell them that you'll run the ads for free, and if the ads garnish more leads, then you take a percentage of the leads gained. that works a lot because it's showing the client that you're pitching to that you're not just in it for the money. If the client doesn't get paid, you don't get paid either. So that pitch really works. And then the other pitch is if you know how to turn on a camera, and depending on what business, even if you have an iPhone, take a video of yourself and go on Facebook and research. You can use Claude, you can use ChatGPT, research how to create a Facebook ads account and try running ads for yourself on a super low budget and just see what happens. There's nothing wrong with taking that extra step and trying. This results page is super important because I garnished so many great leads for one of my clients that now I'm able to use that as proof, as long as I keep all the information private, which I do. I use that as proof to show them, hey, I know what I'm doing and I've done this before and it's worked for my other clients. When running meta ads, you can either push the ads towards a website. I like to push them towards a leads form because I get more leads that way. That's what works for me. If you're running like an e-commerce business, you might want to push the meta ads towards the website and then put a meta pixel in the website so that Facebook can track how many of those purchases came directly from your leads. Metapixel is like a piece of code that's like a website tracker. If you attach the Metapixel to the e-commerce website, you'll have that data that shows, hey, because of these leads that I created, this is how much business you've had. Then I talk about the content that I'm gonna create for them. When creating social ads, I am always going to push the video over the graphic because I'm a videographer and I know how to make great videos for social media. When pitching to my client today, I categorized the videos that I would make for them in 3 different categories. I have the hook video, I have an educational video, and I have a process video. The hook video is your classic engagement, a video that really keeps people scrolling, and you can do that by either asking a question or saying something crazy or doing something really interesting that keeps the person interested in the video so they won't scroll off. The educational video, in this person's small business, what's the #1 most common question that they get asked? You can use that as a digital ad. You guide the small business owner to teach their audience how their services are going to help the people watching. And by doing that, if you have a correct call to action at the end of the video, you can possibly garnish leads that way as well. And then video 3 is the process. Hey, I'm a small business owner. Here's my process. Here's how we're gonna help you with blah, blah, blah from start to finish. Each video can be 30 to 45 seconds. I know when putting money under this that one of these videos isn't gonna perform well, but because I have 3 videos instead of 1 video, I'm able to turn off the ads that aren't gaining any leads and push the majority of that ad spend to the videos that are gaining leads. If I go up to a client and I film 1 video and that video doesn't perform well, then what else do I have to work with? You know what I mean? I could always re-edit the video or change something, but having 3 videos gives me a variety of content that I can push out towards ads, and then managing the account is looking at which ads are performing the best, turning off the ones that don't, and optimizing the ones that do bring in the leads. Hopefully that made sense. This is something so silly. I'm such a visual person. When you're running your business, you are the CEO of your business. So do what you think is best. For me, I'm a very visual person. I had an idea in my head and I kind of just put it on Canva and I called it the marketing funnel. Okay, if you're going to work with me and you don't know me, what is my business process from start to finish? I can email you that as a PDF, which I do, but for presentation purposes, I just use images to explain how I'm going to work with the client because that's how I would want someone to communicate with me. So here's the marketing funnel. First step, I go and I film some great videos for you. Then I edit the videos. Then you approve the video. Then I get access to your Meta account. If you don't have a Meta account, I'll help you set one up. Once those videos are approved, I run them as ads. Then those ads can either, again, they can either go to a website or a lead form. For me, I use Meta Leads forms because that's where I've seen the most traction. From the lead form, that can either go into a CRM, a Google Sheet, an Excel file, whatever you want. This sequencing slide just helps me kind of explain what I do. And since I'm recording the meeting, it's a great visual key point. So if my client gets busy and forgets that we even had this conversation, which does happen, which is why it's important to follow up, now they can go back and be like, oh, this is what he's going to do for me from start to finish. This is great. I can trust him. These are the processes that he's going to take to make sure that my videos are successful and that I succeed as a small business owner. So hopefully that helped. This was only 7 slides. Again, keep it super short, and I think you're gonna be really successful. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have a great day. Goodbye.